Here's a solution to Calc 3, Quiz 8. Number 1, rectangular coordinates of 1, negative 1, 1. Change it to cylindrical and spherical coordinates. Cylindrical, r squared equals x squared plus y squared, just like polar coordinates. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So r is radical 2. For theta, it's probably best to draw a picture of the situation. Don't look at the z, just x and y. So 1, negative 1, 1 right, 1 down. Well, that's a negative 45 degrees, or negative pi over 4. You could also use 7 pi over 4. Okay, so radical 2 is r. Theta is negative pi over 4, or 7 pi over 4. And z stays 1 in cylindrical coordinates. Spherical coordinates, so rho squared is x squared plus y squared plus z squared. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, so rho is radical 3. Theta stays the same as this part, so negative pi over 4 or 7 pi over 4. For phi, well, rho cosine phi is equal to z, which is 1. Okay, and we now know rho is radical 3. So cosine of phi is 1 over radical 3. So phi is inverse cosine of 1 over radical 3. That's the best you can do. I think it was about 54 degrees. So in spherical coordinates, radical 3, comma, negative pi over 4 or 7 pi over 4, and inverse cosine of 1 over radical 3. Number 2, 4 pi over 3, pi over 6 spherical. Changes to rectangular and cylindrical. So I just use the formula. X is rho sine phi cosine theta. Y is rho sine phi sine theta. And Z is rho cosine phi. So 4 sine of pi over 6 is a half. Cosine pi over 3 is a half. So 1. And y is 4. That sine of pi over 6 is still 1/2. Sine of pi over 3 is radical 3 over 2, radical 3. And z is rho cosine phi, so 4 cosine of pi over 6, 4 times radical 3 over 2, 2 radical 3. So in rectangular coordinates, I have 1 radical 3, 2 radical 3. And then for cylindrical, z stays the same, 2 radical 3. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. So 1 plus 3 is 4, whose square root is 2. Okay, and then I'm in the first quadrant, probably best to just draw myself a triangle. So 1 this way, radical 3, hypotenuse is 2, and side opposite the 30-degree angle is half the hypotenuse. So that means this angle is 30, which makes this one 60. So theta is pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3, 2 radical 3 in cylindrical coordinates. Okay, number 3, the transformation of the rectangle 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 0, 3 in xy. What does it look like in UV? So I just transform each point. So 0, 0, plug in 0 is 3u plus v, 0 is u plus 2v. Basically, it stays 0, 0, a little bit of algebra. So u equals negative 2v, plug that in here. It ends up negative 6v plus v is 0, v is 0, u is 0. So 0, 0. So u comma v stays 0, 0. However, 2, 0. That's x, that's y. So 2 equals 3u plus v. 0 equals u plus 2v. This is u equals negative 2v. Plug that in here. I get negative 5v is 2. V is negative 2/5. Plug back in. U is negative 2 times negative 2/5, or 4/5. So u comma v becomes 4/5 negative 2/5. So 4/5 negative 2/5 roughly. 2, 3 is x. 3 is y. So 2 equals 3u plus v. 3 is u plus 2v. Multiply the top equation by negative 2. This is not the only way to do it. It's your standard 2 equations and 2 unknowns. So multiply this by negative 2, negative 4, minus 6u, minus 2v. Leave the second equation alone, add them up. Negative 1 is negative 5u, so u is 1/5. And plug back in. 2 is equal to 3 times u, so 3/5 plus v. V is 2 minus 3/5, which is 7/5. So u comma v is 1/5, 7/5. So that's 2, 3 becomes that. Finally, 0 comma 3. 3u plus v is 0. That means v is negative 3u. Plug in here. U plus 2v negative 3u. That's negative 5u. So u is negative 3/5. Plug in v is negative 3 times negative 3/5, or 9/5. So negative 3/5, 9/5 is over here. And yes, we make the assumption that it's a linear transformation. It is. So we can just go straight line segments from here. So you can see this rectangle, by means of that transformation, becomes this parallelogram in the UV plane. All right, so that was quiz 8 for Calc 3.